word would get out what Joshua and these people had done, and all the people around in the Transjordan area would become so afraid because they heard how God had been on the side of the Israelites. You can't beat God even with a stick. When God is for you, who can be against you? The text before us read very clearly, saying that it came to pass when all the people were clean over the Jordan, the Lord spoke unto Joshua, saying, take ye 12 men out of the people of every tribe, a man. And the text said, and command them, saying, take ye hence out of the midst of Jordan, out of the place where the priest foot stood firm, 12 stones, carry them over with you, leave them in the lodging place where ye shall lodge this night. The first thing I want you to see, the first move, is that we see the prophetic role of Joshua. Interesting. Joshua is nowhere called a priest, but he acts like a priest. He's nowhere called a prophet. He acts more like a prophet than anything else. Prophets were one who spoke on behalf of another. And Joshua was moving on the commandments of God. God spoke to Joshua. Joshua in turn spoke to the people. There's nothing that happens in the book of Joshua that God doesn't tell Joshua to speak to the people to do. And whenever God spoke to Joshua and Joshua disobeyed God, there was repercussion that the people faced for not obeying the word of God. Joshua was a prophetic character in the life of Israel. He spoke on behalf of what thus saith the Lord. Prophetic ministry is not saying what I want to say, but it's simply saying what God said. He spoke as a prophet. God said, do this. God said, do that. God said, move, and the people obeyed. And obeying Joshua, it meant that they were obeying the voice of the Lord. Joshua first finds himself surrendering to God. The prophet. He's giving all to God. He's surrendering his will. He's surrendering everything that's necessary for leadership. He's surrendering to God. Not only that, he's sacrificing everything to God. Prophetic ministry is about surrendering, it's about sacrificing, giving up something, but it's also about serving. The Apostle Paul says, I'm a doulos, I'm a slave, I'm a bondservant of Christ. Whatever Christ wants me to do, that's what I'll do. Joshua had a prophetic role in the midst of the people of God, and that's what makes the words of Joshua so important. You remember, if we jump ahead, that when they got over to the other side, there was a place called Jericho. Remember Jericho? We know that the wall came down at Jericho. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. And God told Joshua, I tell you what, I don't want you to fight the people because I told you that everywhere your feet shall tread, I'm going to give it to you. But I do want you to march around the walls of Jericho for 7 days. And on the 7th day, I want you to march around it 7 times. But on the last time that you march around, I want to sing, oh, how excellent is thy name. I want to sing, well, mighty God is our fortune. I want you to shout, ooh-wee, another blessing. I want you to shout on the 7th time, and when it happened on the 7th time, the walls of Jericho came tumbling down. I told you only 15 minutes, I'm almost there, but he's your neighbor, you're almost there. We're going to keep his time today. Watch what it takes. Joshua had a prophetic role. He was a living, he was a prophet. The second thing, watch what happens here. Command him, take you out of the midst of the Jordan, the place where the priest's feet stood. Firm, 12 stones, carry them with you, leave them in the lodging place which is Gilgal, that you shall lodge this night. Watch verse number 4. Then what? Then Joshua. God speaks to Joshua, Joshua speaks to the people. Call the 12 men who had prepared the children of Israel. Out of every tribe, 1 man. Joshua said to them, pass over before the ark of the Lord your God to the midst of the Jordan. Take upon you every man a stone on his shoulder according to the number of tribes of the children of Israel. Joshua is asked to make this proclamation to one person from every tribe. Unity. That's what it's about, unity. And what he does, he said, Joshua actually takes a stone, he stands in the Jordan River, they are piled up at Joshua's feet. He called 12 men, and they bring the men into the river, and they take the stone on their shoulder, carry them out of the river. Now you say, what's that got to do with anything? A whole lot. A whole lot. Because it tells us that God is a God of order. And if anything the church got to have, it must have a sense of order. Without chaos, without order, you only have chaos. Chaos cannot be the order of the day. God has demonstrated that yet there are 12 tribes, but he wants them to know that hear ye, the Lord our God is one. There's got to be a sense of unity. And they're going to remember what God has done for them. Can anybody remember anything that God has done for you? Is there something that connects the dots to you that God has done for you that you will never ever forget? Or there's some things that God has done for me I cannot forget. I cannot forget where the Lord has brought me from. A little snot-nosed, dirty-nosed kid in the dusty streets of Indiantown, Florida, to the pulpit of St. James. Oh, look where he brought me from. You ever thought you have a pastor from Indiantown? How can anything good come out of Book of Paul? That's the other side of the track. You know, we're bifurcated. One good side of the track, bad side of the track. But look what God has brought us from. There is a stone of remembrance in all of our hearts. That's written on our hearts. Where God has brought us from. Everyone else may not know, but you know, you ain't always been wearing a black suit. We ain't always been a deacon. We ain't always been a trustee. We ain't always been a preacher. We've been something in our life.